Hey, this is Chris. I'm here with the Rifftrax guys. Now, you guys have been doing something called the Crappening. I just love that. Who came up with the Crappening first off? I want to know who's responsible.
I don't know if anybody's going to claim responsibility for that.
I think that maybe I'm going to point towards Bill.
Don't think it was me. Don't think it was me.
What is the Crappening? Where did it start?
Well, we've rarely had the opportunity to have a slate of movies ready for a year, and we were able to line up all these movies that fit into and make the vortex that is the Crappening. So it was just that opportunity that made it happen. Usually we kind of, one by one, we have to sort of pick off these movies, but we were able to do a full storm of movies. So
This being our Fathom Live events.
Fathom Live,
Right,
yes.
And is it easier knowing like 6 months on the horizon we're gonna tear this one a new one, or is it just business as usual? We're gonna go one by one.
I think we're able to look forward to some of them and also dread others. I actually looking forward to all of them because the live shows are so much fun for us to do and to write. It's always a very exciting thing, and so to have them all ready to go, we get sort of primed for what we're doing next.
What's the difference between preparing for something live and preparing for something you're just VODing?
Well, I'd say the writing process, we try to be maybe that much more precise with our timing, knowing that there'll be a live audience rather, to check it on. We try to leave enough room for their laughs, which is the optimistic one, or for flop sweaty improvs if those laughs don't come.
Boos or groans.
Yeah.
Which are always fun to react to live.
Yeah,
I like those.
in the Johnny Carson tradition.
There's boos. Have you encountered boos? Actual boos?
Oh, it's sort of a good natured, if you try a pun that gets too clever, you'll get a boo. And it is fun to just stop and be like a wrestling bad guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I imagine it's got to be pretty to the letter because you're still, going along with the film. So how do you work improv in there?
We just have to take it as it comes, because you're right. Once we start this train, it doesn't stop until it reaches the station. It's There's no way we just wait. Can we reset, stop, reset, and do that over again? It's not going to happen. So we just have to roll and try to get ourselves back to where we were in the script. And there are always surprises. I mean, the audience sees something. It's happened in every film that we've done live. The audience sees something that we didn't expect them to find funny, and they just go nuts.
Which is like, there you go.
And it's always a little humbling because we've watched it, minutely, bit by bit, and how did we miss that? Why are they laughing? And you almost want to go wait, don't laugh at that. Laugh at our stuff that we. But it's that's the fun of it. Is wow, we missed that after all this time.
Now, do you guys feel like maybe you have seen some of these movies more than their creators even have?
Oh, I'm certain.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the case of Birdemic, I think we probably.
I don't think he ever looked at what he was putting on the screen. Honestly,
I think he just taped it directly into the camera.
Yeah, he just used the pause.
Put that in the theaters.
Well, like Sharknado 2, the next live show that we're doing. Yeah, we've definitely watched that movie more than the people who made it ever did. I'm pretty sure.
I'm puzzled by it. Do the Sharknado guys, and we love them because we're using their movies.
Right.
We love you guys. Do they actually know what is going on? And I think they too run and gun in New York. They just go run out of the car and pretend that a shark's attacking you. We'll put it in later in post. Don't worry about it.
It's the business model, Mike.
That is true.
Run, gun, get it out there.
That's right.
Hashtag
Throw a shark in
Sharknado
there.
3.
Yeah.
Put it out on the screen.
I'm curious. You're working with folks who made this film, and Sharknado I think is a little bit more self-aware than some of the stuff that you guys deal with. Yeah. But what about something like The Room, where Tommy Wiseau is making this film, just thinks it's a good film, and then you're riffing on it with his involvement? What's that like? It's a mind trip, I think.
Well, I think it was probably good that we were never directly involved with Tommy. He did.
We had a little bit of separation between editorial and news in this one.
Right.
Because, you could see him. He was trying to be a good sport and promote it, but on the other hand, he was saying, here and there, I don't know if I like it so much, but other people like it. Seems legit. They're paying me, Go ahead.
He seemed to be a tremendously good sport about the whole thing, as far as we could tell. And I think he knows. I mean, he goes and he takes that movie and he four-walls it. He takes it to theaters, and this country and other countries and presents it as a showcase. And people are laughing hysterically and throwing spoons at the screen at it. So he knows something's up there that he didn't intend to have happen.
He's learned the art of jujitsu and that really well, and is and including I don't understand what you're saying. I'm a simple man from another country. Unfrozen caveman lawyer strategy.
When it suits him, he does that. Yeah,
I kind of love that approach, though. That'll get you out of so many binds.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, he even looks like Unfrozen caveman.
Very
lawyer.
much so, yeah.
That's awesome. So we've got Sharknado and The Room. What are the other two films in this?
We have Miami Connection, which is
so good.
Is that not good?
So good.
That's the dessert for this year.
It is on its own. It has that Tommy Wiseau thing that we haven't dealt with the maker. I forget what the filmmaker's name is, but it's that same sincerity. And then every choice in the movie is insanely wrong in exactly the right way. It's that formula you can't find. If somebody tried to do that, they could not do it. It is so good in every way.
It's like trying to make a video viral online. It's like
exactly.
You can't try to make a video
viral. It's a Schrodinger's cat thing.
Right.
The very act of trying means it's going to be doomed.
Right.
Yes.
I just learned about Schrodinger's cat last night, and now I feel like there's some weird there's some.
You just
weird
killed it by
connection
learning
here.
about it.
I know,
right?
I did. I just
And
did
yet
it
it's
by
still
learning
alive,
about
or
it.
is it?
Dead cat in the house.
You don't know.
Oh Lord.
Then our final movie for the Crappening season is Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny, that beloved tale that we all remember from our childhood.
Yes.
What makes that one so special?
That was one that David Martin over here, you can't see
Off
him.
camera.
Sitting in the dark.
Hi, David.
He brought it in on a videotape into our writing room and said, "This is hopeless. You're never going to use this. I watched it. It's garbage." And then 90 minutes in, the writers were literally on the floor laughing, wiping tears from their eyes. It is the weirdest thing. It's an attempt by a theme park to try to make money. It was called Pirates World.
In Florida?
Down in Florida.
Florida
yeah.
in the 70s.
And they were kind of, their business model was fading because they had probably killed a bunch of kids. I don't know the story. But
all the rides looked really dangerous.
Oh,
at
man,
this
did they
place.
ever.
So they made a Christmas movie, which also had Thumbelina in it, but Santa was on the beach in Florida, and then the ice cream bunny comes to rescue. So it's madness, but it hits all the right beats.
I love the ice cream bunny as the guy going to the beach to rescue things.
Yeah, and the ice cream bunny, he only comes in literally the last couple of minutes, and nobody says who he is, acknowledges what he does. He's just a terrifying guy in a 7-foot rabbit suit.
Huge
He
rabbit
comes
suit.
in on a fire truck that sounds like, they're bombing Berlin.
Yeah.
And there's a big scene of him going through Pirates World, knocking over kids and, lemonade stands and basically saving Santa, and that's it. That's at the end of the movie.
That sounds amazing. Now I want to see that.
It's jaw-dropping. It's
really
truly, your jaw will
We
drop.
sizzled it, didn't we?
You just sizzled it, yeah.
That was our elevator pitch.
And now I'm sold, and I'm sure everybody's sold. So I want to know,
Really long elevator.
when you guys sit down to riff something, do you? I mean, is it just you guys? There's a team of writers as well.
We have 2 other full-time writers and a couple of contributors, but it's mostly us 5. Us 3 plus the 2 other guys.
Do you guys know the jokes that each of you are going to make somewhat ahead of time? You're he's going to make this joke there, or do you always keep each other on your toes?
Oh no, we scripted very carefully, and we don't assign something particularly to one of us or the other generally,
Right.
Yeah.
unless it's some unique skill that one of us has.
Right.
And we have no unique skills. Let's be clear about that.
Not even non-unique skills.
Well, Mike does a terrific Nick Nolte, our favorite Nick Nolte.
It's because nobody else wants to wreck his voice, so they just make me.
and now you have to
Everyone
do
can
a Nick Nolte.
The ritual for getting Mike to do Nick Nolte is hold still, Mike, punch him in the throat.
Yeah, exactly.
And there we
then
go.
I can no
Pour a
longer
little
speak.
whiskey down his throat, and then
No, but Kevin will sing and
I'll be there too.
no, Bill.
I'll do stuff.
Bill tap dances like a dream.
It's
It's
true.
unbelievable.
I
The
love
guy
that.
puts on a Sammy Davis type show. It's just amazing.
I love
it
that.
doesn't really
It's
work out
ironic
on
in
the
our-
audio track, but he does tap dance.
In our last VOD, you guys actually did have me
That's
tap
right.
dance with a pencil.
Yes.
I want to know what out there have you? I know you guys do the commentary tracks, which basically of any movie. But what movie is the sort of holy grail of live performance that if you could get the rights to that, all your dreams would come true?
Well, we tried with Twilight, and I think I'd still like to do that live, and hopefully they'll let us someday, because that just has that pacing. It's so they say
Languid.
something. They say something ridiculous, and then they go like, Rifftrax, go ahead. And then they say something. It's almost like they built it for us. So that's always sort of a dream when they do something silly and then big pause, go ahead and speak.
Yeah.
Lots of blank looks.
Yeah, lots.
Oh, man.
A lot of blinking.
I don't know if the audience would, no, I think the audience would go, it's been our really successful thing. So I think Twilight.
Do you guys have a favorite overall thing that you've done, like a best moment or like your favorite riff that you guys have ever done?
It changes all the time, and I think, especially for the live shows, there are moments in each one of the live shows that have been really fun to do.
Right.
We did, there's a short that we kind of dusted it off, and it's called Live and Learn. It's an old black and white thing, and it's about kids. You're going to laugh because this is pretty funny. It's about kids getting injured and going to the emergency room. But there is a moment in it where we just did it live, and we just basically, we could walk off the stage because it was just so funny.
We wound up curating.
Yeah, we're essentially just going, huh?
They were crazy back then.
It's found humor.
It was just so much fun to be, to present that, and so we've done that a couple times, and it's really fun. Just that discovery of people seeing something that they hadn't seen before. It's fun.
But for me recently, in the movie The Room when we did it, there's a scene where two of the characters, Lisa and Mark, are making love on a spiral staircase, which looks as uncomfortable as it sounds.
Right.
And Mike and Bill sort of voiced them doing this, and I was breathless. I'm glad I didn't have a line because I wouldn't have been able to get it out.
That's amazing. Somebody was able to get it out. Yeah. Sorry, it just had to be.
IGN late night.
They got it out. They got it out a little too in that movie.
That was the part where people
put it back in.
I like the fact that you guys, your stuff gets distributed, and then you put a kind of a disclaimer at the end that says, "Hey, if you happen to get this someplace else, here's where we're an independent company. Here's where you can download it." Have you gotten a lot of sort of receptivity to that, and do you think it leads to like people attending your live shows and so forth?
I don't know about the latter, but definitely the former. I mean, people do throw money in the nickel in the jar there, for us, and we think it's because of that as much as they were kind of already, but once we started putting those things at the end, acknowledging the reality of them being on torrent, it was like, I think it led people to do that. I
kind of love that because, a lot of times folks just take things and they're like, oh, this is just meant for me to take, like that's how the internet has kind of developed.
Just a little reminder. You thank people for enjoying our product and then plant a tiny seed of guilt in there.
It's, and the guilt,
I think that's a reminder at the very least that, we can't make these without
it's true.
paying us after a while.
That's true. Well, what is coming up next and when can people see these live?
Sharknado 2.
Sharknado 2, the next one. That's nice. The actual title for it is coming up on July 9th.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it has some really exciting cameos. Judd Hirsch. I know you were looking for a Judd Hirsch cameo.
You knew.
You have it.
You can see it in the Judd Hirsch light in my eyes.
In your other eye, I see that I want Andy Dick as a New York City policeman, and you can get that.
You did.
We'll deliver that to you.
Jared the Subway guy?
Jared the Subway
guy has a substantial role.
Yes.
So please come out for this.
Wow.
On July 9th.
I saw him at Star Wars Celebration, and I was like, this is a weird moment where I don't know if I should be starstruck or...
You shouldn't be. Just err on the side of not, I think.
Maybe not.
Why was he there? Was he selling sandwiches on a
freighter? He was literally
working
a booth.
It was like the time we were at Comic-Con and the Soup Nazi was across from us. And people would walk up to him and just be like, hey, it's the Soup Nazi. And he would like point to a sign like $20.
Yeah.
Like he really was an unhappy dude.
Yeah. That really is like a lot of Comic-Con. There's a whole wing of Comic-Con where it's just dudes pointing to $20 signs.
Is the thing. Like, I just wanted to say hi to the Soup Nazi. You can't do that.
We were next to Adam West, and he keeps like a fedora over his eyes and sunglasses. and he will sign it when it's like right here. But he basically has a big goon moving people through and said, "Put your money there, Mr. West will sign it. Do not make eye contact."
How do we get that? We need a big goon. We all need a big
do.
goon.
We all
are
need
big
goons.
goons.
Who doesn't? Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
It's our pleasure.
And where can people buy tickets?
Rifftrax.com/live or Fathom Events, but go to rifftrax.com.
Awesome. And then you get, at Rifftrax, you also get all the other VOD
All the
stuff
other
and
stuff.
really
Right.
everything you guys have ever
Tons of
done
stuff
Exactly.
in the world.
Right.
in the very world.
Thank you for watching. For everything Rifftrax, keep it here on IGN.com.